Good morning, viewers at home. Welcome to the program Super Dawn. I am Vera. I'll support with you on this Friday edition of the program.
And I am Anthony Usaibo. Good morning to the world. Good morning, Vera.
Good morning to you.
TGIF, huh?
I didn't hear this.
TGIF.
Okay, it's Friday. Thank God. That's the abbreviation of thank God. It's Friday. And it's a Friday edition. But this time around, we're going to be looking at how something happened. And we want to look at it really if it's worth the price. And that's why I want to look at the website that the Office of the Secretary of the Government of the Federation gave us 65 billion to create a website. But they never said they created. When questioning started, they said they were trying to upgrade that particular website with 65 million naira. We want to look at upgrading a website. What does it really cost to set up a website, and the importance of websites? And we'll be looking at loads of things concerning this issue this morning. But I must say that I want to congratulate the defending champions of the World Cup. Yesterday we saw the opening ceremony. It was a sight to behold, and lots of people were ready for the World Cup. With great anticipation, and it's all started yesterday. I just said to myself, why wasn't Nigeria in that picture? What happened? Well, the 5-0 came knocking, and I said, were we in a contest? Was this a basketball or a football? But all the same, was something we were all delighted to see and be part of yesterday. Every corner, everywhere, you could see the excitement that the football, the game has started. Football is a very powerful force, and it forced a lot of people to get out of their offices. Some businesses where the shops were closed down yesterday, and the road was a bit free when the game started. All of this we'll talk during when we want to talk about sports today. But first, we'll go on this break. When we come back, we'll take the newspaper story. We'll be right back.
Super Dawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. It's the newspaper review segment, and this morning we want to start with the Punch newspaper. And this says, Buhari to Nigerians: stop glorifying thieves, treat them with disdain. I think I need to take that story. It's all over in the papers this morning, where the president said we shouldn't glorify thieves, and we should treat them with disdain. Well, let me read. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday urged Nigerians to stop glorifying thieves, but should treat them with disdain for bringing hardship on others. President said this in a solemn message made available to journalists by Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, to mark the end of Ramadan. The president also urged ordinary Nigerians to stop glorifying thieves by treating them with disdain for bringing hardship on others, the statement said. The president also thanked Nigerians for their patience with this administration, saying reforming a country that was pushed into near decay on account of corruption will come with teething pains. And he's saying it's going to come with teething pains.
Definitely. It's not even going to come. We are already in that pain in Nigeria, the economy, the insecurity, all of these things, okay? It's all that we are at that stage. And the only thing that we should be talking about right now is how to eliminate this corruption. And back to what he said, we shouldn't celebrate thieves. I think it's something that we have always been doing in Nigeria.
We have always been doing what?
We do not celebrate thieves in Nigeria. Though you would agree with me that during elections and campaigns, it's very easy for those that are corrupt to cajole votes because of what they dish out. But then, I think I'll go with the president. Yes, we should not celebrate thieves.
We should treat them with disdain. We should, but I know that Nigerians don't glorify thieves. We don't. We don't. If you look at even the social media and all the televisions and the print, you see the reactions of people when you hear this person remarks well to himself. Well, I know that they don't do that. But President is saying we should treat them with disdain. We also have in the papers, goals galore as World Cup begins. Russia routs South Africa 5-0. And this says, we will top Group D, Musa. Ambode Fashola to chair Eagles against Croatia. I want to be there. I wanted to be there. And hey, maybe next time my boss will sponsor me there. I love the game football.
No, that's a very good support.
Yes. Okay, we also have this. We will be fair to all zones in project execution from the federal government. I'm going to take that particular one. Federal government has said they are going to be fair to all zones, not being partial when they're executing projects. And I think this coming from the president is commendable, because when you begin to sideline other people, you're not being fair then. But if you carry it out well. Okay, let's take the business and the economy side of the punch. And it says here, the federal government will continue to implement projects across the country in a manner that will show equity, fairness to all regions of the country. The Minister of Budget and National Planning, Senator Udoma, said this on Thursday in Kaduna while inaugurating a soil erosion and flood control project in the state. The minister, according to the statement by his media advisor, Mr. Akpandem James, noted that the government will continue to build the economy through proper execution of people-oriented projects. That's good.
That's a good one. You get to know Nigeria. We need projects that should be commissioned. We need projects that should be inaugurated and backed on. From the roads to water, power, lots of these things to drive the economy forward. So yes, it's a good one.
But in this context right now, they are saying that they are going to be fair to all region, and I think it's very important.
Yes.
You must carry everybody along. It doesn't matter the political divides, lines. You need to carry people along.
It's something that we need to decongest Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, because it's like everyone is coming down here because they feel, okay, the resources are here. But by the time you start to, implement this project fairly around Nigeria, then yes, everyone could be safe in this country, in its own state, and, live well. Okay,
we have this one. It says, convention. APC releases guidelines for appeals panel begins sitting. The Screening Appeals Subcommittee of the National Convention Committee of the All Progressive Congress has commenced sitting. The panel, which is headed by the Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha on Thursday, asked all aggrieved aspirants to forward their grievances to the committee. One of the Punch correspondents gathered that the Screening Committee submitted an interim report which the Appeals Committee is working with. Petitioners were asked to submit a list of their grievances in writing. Each petitioner is also expected to support his or her petition with concrete and verifiable evidence. of a breach of the party's constitution and the guideline for just concluded screening exercise. So they've started, and let's see how that will go.
You know, this supports democracy. You know, you give the people a voice. It's not just about imposing. You know, okay, if you feel these things are happening, then, you know, submit your petitions. And I think Governor Okorocha is doing well in that aspect.
Okay, we also have this one, EFCC ignoring UK advice on 2019 polls, says Secondus. The national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Prince Uche Secondus, has berated the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, for its alleged concealed bias in execution of the anti-corruption war in the country. Secondus said that the recent arrest and harassment of contractors handling projects in only PDP state had clearly exposed the anti-graft agencies as doing the bidding of the ruling party ahead of 2019 elections.
Well, if these allegations are true, then it's very bad. I mean, for an anti-graft agency that's supposed to be protecting or fighting corruption involving in politics, it's a downside for them.
No, it's an allegation.
It's an allegation, like I said, if it's true.
I'm hoping that the FCC will come and tell us, clear their name in this kind of allegation, because when it comes to election, it shouldn't be one-sided also. The institution should be fair to all. Yes, away from the punch.
Daily Trust, we have here, EFCC, FBI nab 30 cybercrime suspects in joint operation. And that's on page 10 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Let's take the story. It says no fewer than 30 suspects internet fraudsters have been arrested following a joint operation between the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI. Daily Trust gathered. A source within the EFCC who disclosed this to Daily Trust said 25 digital devices, including mobile phones and computers, were recovered from the suspects during the joint raids, which were carried out between May 23 and June 7, 2018. The exercise, according to the source, who wished to remain unnamed because he was not authorized to speak on the matter, were carried out as a part of an exercise codenamed Operation Wire Wire, which followed months of surveillance to identify the suspects and their location.
Okay.
Now, it's Nigerians, as a matter of fact, Nigerians here in Nigeria and abroad have been stereotyped to internet fraudery. And it's only right that, okay, we put these things
some
in check.
Nigerians, Anthony, I think you need to begin to use the word some. Because it's not everybody that's into that kind of...
I just said,
yes,
no,
you said
it can't be
some
all Nigerians, yes.
are into it, and it's not all of us that are into what...
No, I didn't say we are all into it.
You
I said
Nigerians.
We are stereotyped.
Okay.
You know, when you hear some.
Some, yes.
Okay, yeah,
I think some is better.
And we need to just find a way to fight this and, you know, be oriented. We need this sensitization. You know, why most Nigerian youths, or why some Nigerian youths indulge in this is because they feel, okay, there's no job and this is the only way out. And by the time we begin to sensitize ourselves that, okay, apart from these things, we can actually use that internet skills, you know, in the IT industry, then you could be a successful entrepreneur.
Okay, but I also think that parents has a role to play. You know, peer pressure comes in at a particular time, but your formation as a person, where you're starting from, your home is very important. Why should you defraud? Internet fraud, really, it's something I cannot comprehend. I don't know why. Even you see some they are graduates instead of looking for a job. I think it's a lazy mind. If your mind is lazy, you don't know what to do. You just feel, I want to get it quick. Get quick rich syndrome is what happens here. As a youth, why are they not also thinking, some of them not thinking of becoming an MD someday, not thinking of giving back to the society? Why must you? Because some of those people into this kind of fraudulent act, you see them in nightclubs, you see them burn, you do as if money is, I don't know, the way they spend money, you know, it shows their mentality, it shows the state of their mind, you know. And so I think it's a lazy mind that will just sit down, do nothing, and just take your internet and your laptop and begin to make people cry because you're defrauding someone. and you're putting people in a state. I think people should just get out of this, and parents should be involved. Communities need to be involved. Begin to educate people you see. And also government involvement is key. You know, as a government, what provisions have you kept for people that just graduated after 5 years in the university? Their parent maybe doesn't have money to take care of them, and somehow they want to find a living. So as a government, as a people, what do we have on ground that this graduates that we're chunking out every day has to do? You know, these are more that we need to really look into when we want to look at the causes of internet fraud, the causes, I think, parenting, the people, the communities, and also the government has a lot of role to play here. Yes, you have another story.
We might talk about it regarding the topic of today. This one says, U.S. approves first drug for river blindness in 20 years. America's Food and Drug Administration has approved moxidectin as the first new treatment for river blindness in 20 years. It adds new ammunition to the fight to eliminate river blindness. Ivermectin is the only drug currently in use and is distributed annually to the entire communities living in endemic areas. It has significantly reduced river blindness, but the global campaign to eliminate the disease requires more effective drugs. Well, that is a good one from the U.S. Drug and Food Agency. This one says, federal government disburses loans to 4,000 Jeep Markets Money beneficiaries in Edo State. The federal government is to disburse loans to over 4,000 beneficiaries of the government enterprise and empowerment program, Jeep, in Edo State. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo disclosed this yesterday in Benin at the state's edition of Micro, Small, and Medium Scale Enterprise MSME Clinic. Jeep is one of the nation's social interventions program of the current administration, providing interest loans of between 10,000 and 100,000 naira to market women, farmers, artisans, and enterprising youths nationwide under the Bank of Industry. That is a good one for the federal government to support market women, traders with loans. But then yesterday we talked about job creation, and our guest gave a point. Is the government doing well by giving out loans, or the government should be putting in place resources, infrastructures, welfare for the Nigerian youth or the Nigerian community to strive into business or job creation?
There's nothing really wrong in giving out loans. If you go to, we don't want to be advertising banks here, because they have to bring the adverts. I keep telling people.
Yeah, true.
But there are banks that gives out loans, and for banks of industry, permit me to say it here, that you must have a good project. If you don't know how to write one, you want the loan, you must have a good proposal. And if you have a good proposal, I think they might give you. It's not just standing up to say, I need a banking loan and I want to execute a project. It must be well done. And if it's done, you might get one. But government also can make it a bit subtle for people to, some other banks will require some collateral. And at this really easy to come by. When they tell you to bring all sorts of things, and you bring all sorts of things, they'll say they're monitoring, time is going. And I think, also here at this point, we should look at the people. But this is commendable coming from the government.
Okay. Foreign investors to build $10 billion power project. A consortium of companies of America and South Korea said it is to invest $10 billion in the construction of power projects in the country, Nigeria. Speaking when he led a delegation of investors on a visit to Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, Mr. Boss Mustafa, yesterday, said, leader of the team, Sare Molalong, said first stage of the project would kick off with $3 billion. He said in the 90 days there would be groundbreaking of the project, saying the consortium would provide funding and were determined to assist NNPC with pipelines to connect the grid. That is a good one. The foreign investors to build $10 billion power projects in the country.
We need power, really. And I don't want to say the country is in darkness, but I think we can get out of this by giving us more greed. I want to say from my end where I reside, today you get power, the next day they share power, and you begin to wonder when next is going to come. I think we should, without power, I just don't know how the economy will grow. People are into businesses. Some people sell sachet of pure water and they put it in a refrigerator. And these are the things people need. You need power.
You can't overemphasize.
I don't know how we live without
power.
it anyway.
Take, for instance, Superscreen TV. How much do we burn on diesel every month?
Well, you don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know what goes off because it must be on air. And we need power, for God's sake. An affordable one. Yes, you have
the last
story.
This says, Kogi confirms 3 deaths, 14 suspects cholera cases. And that will be all for
that's all for the Daily Trust. Before we move into the Nation newspaper, we'll go on this break. And when we come back, we'll need to take some stories in the Nation newspaper and also the New Telegraph. We will be right back.
Super Dawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. We're still in the newspaper review segment and we want to look at the Nation newspaper this morning. The first story here says, Buhari, stop corrupt leaders. Stop corrupt leaders. And the writer says here, it is impossible to separate morality from religion. And removing this connection encourages corrupt leaders and other exploiters to commit atrocities against society. I always wonder why any true believer, be they politician, maybe civil servants or businessmen, will seek to make profit from misfortunes of others. That was what the president said. We also have here in the papers this morning a picture story of the World Cup and in Russia yesterday, where we saw in the picture story Casillas was there with a supermodel. Natasha was there, yesterday. They displayed the trophy. It was a sight to behold when you saw the supermodel yesterday with her dress. Well, it was a sight yesterday. I just like the fact that, well, what this World Cup is going to bring to us as a nation, Nigeria. And excitement is in the air. We also have this one, importers with Chinese yarns invoices to pay less. And this says yes, 51 families of slain policemen get 29 million. Still in the Nation newspaper, 6,800 delegates for APC convention. For the sports segment, we have injury fear over Super Eagles Balogun. And also here, workers protest short SPDC's export terminals. You get more stories, and maybe I should take this one, the last one here. Shekao's mom, I've not seen him for 15 years. Well, that's all we can take on this, this particular paper from the Nation newspaper this morning.
And moving on to the New Telegraph newspaper, we have here NCAA Airlines sold 505.2 billion naira tickets in 2017. It comes with a rider that says regulator to bar use of 2 aircraft for operations. And this one says party leaders take oath, vow to dislodge Buhari. And this one says Ed El Fitri, Buhari, Saraki, Doraga, Kalu governors preach tolerance and peace. And that is a very good message from the leaders. This one says killings in Nigeria, crime against humanity. And this is coming from the ASF. This one says female civil servants dupes deaf and dumb man of 1 million naira. That is sad, and that is very appalling. I butchered my married lover to steal her SUV. Suspect. And this one says 6,800 delegates to decide APC aspirants' fate. And it comes with a rider that says convention committee expects funding from stakeholders. I want steps down for Oshomole, and that's coming from Osumbo. You can find that on page 3 of the New Telegraph newspaper, and that will be all for the New Telegraph.
Well, that's all we can take for this segment of the program. And up next, we want to look at the 65 million website upgrade. Remember that this money was budgeted for. It was revealed in the 2017 budget that the Secretary of the Government Federation actually used 65 million to design a website. And some people said it wasn't designed, it was an upgrade. But the question now is, is 65 million not on the high side to upgrade a website? Well, I don't know, but the phone lines will be open. If you are an expert, you can call in. Even if you're not, call in to let us know what your thoughts are concerning this matter. We'll go on this break. We'll be right back.
Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which has potent medicinal properties. Garlic is a plant in the allium onion family. It is closely related to onions, shallots, and leeks. It grows in many parts of the world and is a popular ingredient in cooking due to its strong smell and delicious taste. This compound is known as allicin and is also responsible for the distinct garlic smell. Allicin enters the body from the digestive tract and travels all over the body where it exerts its potent biological effect. Garlic is a plant in the onion family, grown for its cooking properties and health effect. Garlic supplementation is known to boost the function of the immune system. Studies shows that a daily garlic supplement reduced the number of colds by 63% compared with placebo. Cardiovascular diseases like heart attacks and strokes are the world's biggest killers. High blood pressure or hypertension is one of the most important drivers of these diseases. Human studies have found garlic supplementations to have a significant impact on reducing blood pressure in people with high blood pressure. Effects on longevity are basically impossible to prove in humans, but given the beneficial effect on important risk factors like blood pressures, it makes sense that garlic could help you live longer. The fact that it can fight infectious disease is also an important factor because these are common causes of death, especially in elderly people with dysfunctional immune systems. Garlic has known beneficial effects on common causes of chronic diseases, so it makes perfect sense that it could help you live longer. Garlic was one of the earliest performance-enhancing substances. It was traditionally used in Asian cultures to reduce fatigue and enhance the work capacity of laborers. The last one is not the health benefit, but still important. It is the fact that it is very and easy to include garlic in a current diet. It complements most savory dishes, particularly soups and sauces. The strong taste of garlic also adds a punch to otherwise bland recipes. Garlic comes in several forms, from whole cloves and smooth pastes to powders and supplements like garlic extract and garlic oil. The minimum effective dose for therapeutic effect is 1 clove eaten with meals, 2 or 3 times a day. However, keep in mind that there are some downsides to garlic, such as bad breath. The active compound allicin only forms when garlic is crushed or cleaved when it is raw. If you cook it before crushing it, then it won't have the same health effects. The best way to consume garlic is raw, or to crush it and cut it and leave it out for a while before you add it to your recipes. Garlic is going to provide you relief from that stubborn cold and flu. Yes, they absolutely love you and never want to leave. Taking 2 to 3 cloves of raw or cooked garlic a day, or sipping some garlic tea with a touch of honey or ginger to lift up the taste, is not only going to relieve a stuffed nose and cure the cold, but also build your immunity against these frequent visitors over the time. Garlic is one of the best kept medicinal treasures of the past era. It has been used as an antibiotic to treat bacterial, fungal, and parasitic infections for the last 7,000 years. Studies suggest diluted garlic extract help children with tapeworm infections. A garlic-based mouthwash may not sound like fresh, minted bread, but a very small quantity of its extract is sufficient to ward off cavity-causing bacteria. The invigorating properties of garlic, protecting the skin from the effect of free radicals, and slows down the depletion of collagen, which leads to loss of elasticity and aging skin. Applied topically, garlic does wonders to skin infected with fungal infections and provides relief from skin ailments like eczema. It also has an effective remedy for fungal infections like athlete's foot and ringworms. All of us know about the wonders of onions for air, but its brother garlic is no less of a hero for your thieving mane. Well, at surprise time. Rubbing crushed garlic extract on your scalp or massaging with garlic-infused oil is known to prevent and even reverse hair loss.
Welcome back, where we want to look at the website that costs 65 million. But talking about website this morning, having a website or an online presence helps you to market your products, goods, and services better. But we want to looking at websites and how we can market our products through websites, and also why I don't know how a website will cost 65 million naira. Well, we have a guest in the studio. Is a technology entrepreneur. Good morning to you, Martins Igbe.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
First, we're looking at websites and online presence and the strategy that allows you market your products, goods, and services. Let's talk about that first.
Okay. Website generally today, like in the past, is more or less like real estate now. Is really no longer different from saying you have an office space. That is what a website is today to any organization. You don't have a website, you don't exist. It's as simple as that. And the value of websites compared to the value of real estate will continue to change so much that, let's say, a typical website could actually worth, a typical real estate could worth, let's say, 10 million, and a website can actually worth 100 million. Website is beyond the technology aspect of it, beyond the science of websites. Website significantly is an art, because you are trying to create something that will appeal to people's attention, that call for people to say, this is my place, this is my location, this is my address. Come and meet me there and get what you want from there, or whatsoever I'm offering. What is going to make people to come to that place in the first instance?
And that's where you come into marketing. So how can you use your website to disperse information, market your brand, your project information, and the likes?
Before you even talk about marketing using the website, you actually have to ask yourself, what exactly do I want to achieve with website? Having understood that, then you start thinking of the audience you want to reach at the end of the day. And after deciding that, you are not looking at the content you want to put in. You decide that, then you start looking at design. The hallmark of design is significantly art. Now the question is, can we actually quantify the value of art? Art is simply perception. It's not like science. For example, you can come up with a methodology, scientific base, to say this is how this thing should be done. But when you talk about art, you probably may even be there for the next 1 year. You probably maybe not have come up with something that makes any sense. So, to build an art within the environment of websites that appeal to people, then you are looking at what are the value of people I want to be able to bring in to help me create such kind of art.
Okay.
That will become the center of attention.
Okay. Okay, looking at the value, because we want to look at it. Say I have a business and I'm a lady, maybe I want to sell bags to some particular people. How do I really reach them through the website? Can I encroach into their site? Or how do I do it?
Okay.
Before we start looking at the cost, we just want to know so that people can get educated on the website.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are many options today. One is, should I build my own website, or should I sell on other people's platform? Because talking about websites, people need to recognize the fact of brand. How much does it cost to create a brand? There are some brands today that are worth, I think Google, for example, the brand worth of Google is approximately over 150 or 200 something billion US dollars. That is the worth of a brand. That is the capacity of a website to call the attention of people and keep their attention and get them to be so much interested enough to exchange whatsoever they're getting on that website with money. So when you are talking about website to be able to sell your clothes, for example, you ask yourself, if I build my own website, how many years and how much cost will it take me to be able to attract those people that are going to come to my website before they now even start talking of buying my products? The cost of making that happen is huge. Then what if I go to another person's website? I mean, there are some e-commerce big name websites. I don't know if I should mention the Nigeria one.
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
But don't mention.
Okay, I should
Just
not, I can
continue with
mention Amazon.
We want them to come and pay us before advert here.
Okay.
So,
I can mention Amazon.
No, continue.
Okay, and Alibaba and
no, you don't need to mention.
Okay.
You just need to just go ahead.
Okay. Now, these big websites, because they have spent so much billions of dollars to attract millions and if not billions of people to those particular platforms, so it's easier for you to be able to sell your product. It is almost like you want to sell a clothes. The option is, should I open a shop in front of my house to sell these clothes, or should I go to Tejo Market to sell these clothes, or should I go to which other place? Should I go to some of these supermarkets now?
Generally.
There is this major supermarket that we have in town at Lekki and other places, Surulere and Co. Should I go there to sell my clothes? Now, for each place you want to go and sell your clothes, how much will it cost you? If I want to sell my clothes in front of my house, of course, it may not cost you more than maybe 5,000 naira to set it up.
Okay, I see
Like,
you're talking.
if I want to sell the same clothes at Tejo Market, maybe it's going to cost me approximately 1 million or 5 million to
so
actually.
That's where the brand comes in.
Thank you. And if I want to sell the same clothes, maybe at those eyebrow supermarket that we have today, located in Seoul, that have been attracting a lot of traffic, maybe that one can even cost you 10 million naira
So
just to sell the same clothes.
But on the website, you're an entrepreneur and you know how to make money from these things. For websites, there are different ways which you can make money. How can we make money? I know there is pay-per-click, there is Google Ads. How can we make money from the website?
Okay, before we make monies, I want to ask, how much should a website cost first before I start making money? Is it because before I start making the money, how much should a website? Then you can add it to that question Anthony asked you.
Okay. Frankly speaking, a website can cost as low as 100,000 naira.
And as high as what?
Unlimited, already.
We need to know.
It can actually go, okay, let's even talk about the cost of a website address.
Okay.
There are some websites, I'm not going to mention my company, and like the product we created, when we created the product in the first instance, it was too expensive for us to buy because the cost of the particular website we needed ran into millions. Just the name of the address of the website alone is in millions of naira.
So before I start saying I want to go into getting my website, I must know, because those are the things we want people to learn.
Yeah.
I must know, getting an address. How do I get an address first?
Okay.
What do I need to know?
Okay, ISP provider, internet service providers,
Okay.
there are a whole lot of them everywhere today.
Okay.
In fact, there are some wonderful ones in Nigeria right now. Unlike before, you have to probably subscribe to the foreign ones, which of course you have to pay in dollar. Today you have a whole lot of them that you can pay for in naira.
So it's expensive with what
No,
you're saying.
the price
getting
varies.
the address.
Now, for example, insurance.com.ng actually costs the people that bought it, I think 3.5 million naira to buy just the name of the website.
Okay.
Just the name of the website costs 3.
So if I'm to create my own website,
Yes.
what do I need to do first?
No, the first thing is what name?
Okay.
Name is everything. Like they give birth to a child. In fact, before they give birth to a child, one of the first things, the father and the mother, and in fact the grandmother and the grandfather, everybody is thinking, asking, what name should we name this child? It is so important that they hold a naming ceremony.
So, but can I, like you said, we can start with 100,000?
It depends on
As
what
low
you
as
want to.
100,000?
Yes, the name of the website actually is a game changer.
Okay.
A
How?
website, the name of a website, some website cost as much as $10 million. Just the name, before you even do anything.
Why should it cost that much for a name, just a name?
How easy is it for you to mention Google? And how easy is it for you to mention shopolokobamboshe.com?
No, but I can say blue.
So are you saying
I can say
the words
blue
is what
bear.
matters?
No, that blue.
Is it the word that matters?
I can say blue.
Okay, you say blue.com. Now go and check whether blue.com is available.
Okay, you are talking about the availability of the
Yes.
names.
Even if a company is not already using it, some have already made it a business to mop up names,
Domain
names that are very, very distinct, and when they mop them up, they start selling them.
Okay, Anthony asked you a question. I don't want to move.
Okay.
We just wanted to have a view of what the website is and what it does. But Anthony says, how can you make money from the website?
Making money from website is what brings money is the consumers. That's what gives you money. And when it comes to websites today, I think there are approximately two types of majorly ways of making money from the website. One is from advertisements. That is, your website has become so strong enough to attract audience that you are able to place advertisement to this audience and you get money from them. Then the second one is you are selling either a tangible product or a service that you make money from. So those two methods, you can make money from
the
them.
sites. Okay,
Yes.
coming back to the cost of maintaining a website, because definitely I know there is a security, there is the updating, there is all of these things. There's the design. But when you look at all of these things, let's start with the URL to start with. I know you mentioned .com.ng and the price range and all of these things. Coming into the discussion of today, I mean the OSGF website, which ISP or URL is the most expensive as regards getting the address of a website?
Now, I think it has to do with appeal, and it also do with what you want to sell, and it also has to do with the people you're actually targeting. There are names that, for example, now you want to sell food, and your name of your website is saying something like chemical.com.ng. There is no correlation between chemical and food. So you first and foremost get a website that
the .com.ng, that's the .com.ng, is
no, you're
it
focusing
varies from
.com.
the .com.ng varies, .com.uk, all of that varies, right?
Yes.
Now, where do I know which one to pick, and what amount does it cost?
Okay. The most popular one today is .com.
Okay.
And depending on the name that we are picking, now determines the price. Now, if you are taking .com.ng or .ng, for example, or maybe any other country or whatever the case may be, it means that your attention is focused on a particular country. When you begin to now have something like .ng, any website that is named .ng, for example, your first focus is Nigerian markets. If you are saying .com, for example, naturally, it's easier to even access ordinarily.
Worldwide.
Yes, worldwide. And once people see .com is simply company commercial. It is a business website. Now we have I think org or so for that, for org, which I mean government. That we have .org, which is maybe that could be for even a charity organization and whatever the case may be. Then we have .gov, for example, which is government.
So
of
which
course,
one is cheap and which one is expensive?
No. Pricing is not a function of .com or .whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's a function of what will appeal to people the most and what name is easiest to be able to, for example,
to connect with.
Exactly. If I'm going to go into car business And I'm the first to get a name called car.com. I want to believe that anyone that has car.com anyone that has a name car.com right now, if he's not selling it for anything less than 10 million, of course that person does not know business.
Okay, but looking at it, let's go back to what we're doing today, because I just wanted us to go through the website issues. So when we start talking, what we're about to go in now, we'll have a view of what we're talking about. The Office of the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, the OSGF, in 2017, appropriated and channeled to have spent about 65 million for a website. And this had come with loads of suspicions, and loads of people said this is impossible. But looking at it, I mean, it was said that it was built with an SMS, which is a free content management services. And it's also said that it was hosted on YouTube. Looking at all of this explanation they gave regarding the site, do you think? And when they were asked anyway, I need to make that clear. They said the site was existed. It's just to upgrade the site that money was meant for, and it was highly utilized. Do you think 65 million naira can be used to upgrade a site?
Anything that has to do with government, first and foremost, you have to, the suspicion will definitely always be there. Could they actually, can a government spend 65 million? 65 million is roughly approximately $200,000. Approximately that. Now, yes, a government will even spend much more than that. To
upgrade a site.
What is upgrading a site and what is building a site?
Maybe redesigning.
No. What really is the difference? At times, for example, in our company, we have upgraded our site more than, I think, 6 times or so right now. And for every time we want to do it, it's a completely new set of projects. It's like you have not done it before. It's like you have to pull down everything you have done and start all over again. Because you have to now look at where is the world right now. What are they looking? What are their tastes? How do they see things? What is the trend? You have to start everything from scratch. So saying upgrading or not upgrading, I mean, that is completely, in fact, for me, to upgrade a website is more difficult than to build a new one. Because upgrading a website, meaning that something is already before your eyes and it becomes a constraint. It affects your ability to create. For you to create, you have to scrap, you have to pull down, especially when it comes to your website. Except a website is very, very powerful, that already has, that have been catching attention already. Let's say, for example, Google wants to upgrade. Of course, they already have a lot of analytics. So many data have been built and all of those stuff. Like, look at the one that just happened to Facebook recently. Okay, they are upgrading some of their security or whatsoever the case may be. What did it lead to? It led to another problem, exposing some people's information that ran into millions of users of their information that either to was private now became public. Okay, and it's
but that's right there is a social media websites where people have accounts. So the security is on another level. So they have to spend that much money. But when you come down to this, the OSGF
government
official website, you look at it, would you say, you said you've upgraded your website for like 6 times. Did you even spend that much? And when you look at this website, if you look at it, like when you go to the website, you see everything that's there, you browse through, is 65 million.
Not too much.
Think not so much? Yeah, thank you very much. Not so much for the upgrading of that website.
As an accountant, mature accountant, if you're looking at it from that perspective, you simply say, okay, government, you're not supposed to spend maybe 1 million naira to do whatever you're supposed to do from the accounting perspective. But from the value creation perspective, it's a completely different ballgame. The cap of fund that is needed is a function of the value you hope to attract, because that will also determine the type of people you are going to bring in to be able to do that kind of work. For example, for someone to be able to attract someone like me, let's assume, to say, okay, let me be a project manager for a website. Of course, the person probably has been thinking about some big
amount,
7-digit figure.
Really?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Then, if you are looking at someone else, probably you'll be looking at maybe 5 digits or even 4 digits, as the case may be. So, depending on the person you are bringing in.
So now it's the person you are bringing in and not what you are putting on the site.
Okay, maybe I should ask this question. Can the features of the site, is it what makes it expensive? I really need to know.
The content.
It's expensive.
When you talk about content, okay, one of the biggest problems that a company like Yahoo had that eventually led to their demise was when they asked the former MD, I think a woman, I think Marisa May or so, was asked, okay, what exactly is Yahoo? And it became a big problem. They could not answer that question for a very long time. Eventually they say Yahoo is a content management website. And a company that was worth over $100 billion suddenly were begging to even be purchased for just $4 billion. It's about value, the value you want to put forward that determines the people that you're going to bring to the table to develop the solution you want to be able to put forward inside the website. Now, what you call the extrinsic value of websites, or the physical value of website, or the physical price of website may not be more than 500,000 naira, or even 100,000 naira at the very most. Anybody, a very fresh person, can collect even 30,000 naira from you and quickly build a website for you. But what this person is going to give you is going to be different from what somebody else, who probably are paying 50 million naira to build a website, is going to give to you.
So are you saying it's the conformity with the modern technology that is making it high?
Yeah, but I'm not supporting, I'm not saying, you know, I don't have an evidence. I don't have an evidence to determine how government decided the 65 million. Now, it could be that government did not probably spend more than 5 million naira to build this website. I've looked at the websites.
So what's your conclusion when you saw the website? You're an expert here. So when you saw the website, do you think this is up to 65 million?
Let me explain something to you. When you tell a young child to give you a basic logo, a simple logo of a company, I'm just bringing that forward. The child may say, give me 100 naira and I will give you this logo. Why? Because you just sit down and just come up with a logo. If you tell somebody else, the person may actually come back to the same logo, the exact same logo that this little child created just for 100 naira. But for him to create it, he probably will be collecting like maybe 10 million naira from you. Now, he's not just looking at the logo. He's trying to interpret
what that logo says.
Logo
but the question we asked, you're an expert. No, I need him to answer the question.
Yeah.
You've not answered. The question is, seeing that website, is it worth 65 million? I just want to know, because you're an expert. Seeing what you saw there, is it worth it? Yes or no?
No. It's not a yes or no. It would be wrong for someone to say this is yes or no.
Okay.
For you to determine the worth of a website is to determine the people behind it.
Okay, working.
Exactly. It is the people that build it that matters.
And not the features.
But looking at the economy today, do you think we need to give more as a government, not a private parastatals? We're saying a government putting more for website. He's not the first person that did that. Remember the former governor of Lagos State said he had his personal website for about 75 million. That's the former governor of Lagos State.
If
Mr. Raji Fashola said he did his personal one while in office for 75 million.
Yes. Now, if a poor man wants to remain a poor man, he keeps spending kobo and penny. And of course, he will definitely remain a poor man. If a rich man wants to be, if a poor man wants to become a rich man, he'll probably go to the bank or go to people to collect big money and get that thing done.
Is it about big monies or the kind of class of people you take? You might have big money and you don't create something good. Is it not possible?
Beautiful. That's why
is it about the big money?
Thing. No, we're saying the same thing. What we are saying is what you want to bring out. For example, now that particular website, if I'm interpreting it abstractly from this is the website, I will probably tell you this website is not worth more than 1 million naira. I've said that already. Any other person that look at it, any other expert that look at it will say this website that is created, I've looked at the website, you will say, okay, it's not worth more than 1 million naira. But what the real value of a website, they probably may not have spent more than 1 million naira on the website, which can actually be the fact.
I'm going to come back to you, but we have Nasi here. Nasi, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, I said good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Hello?
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, maybe you need to go ahead.
Okay.
Hello.
When you look at the website, the
OSGF.
Now, that website, the interconnectivity there, the ease of flow, the natural appeal, and all of those stuff like that. Yes, you could say 1, 2, 3 million naira at the very most. That is the ordinary worth of the website. But the strategic intent of the website, the tactical intent of the website, we are not saying the operational intent of the website. The operational intent or the technical intent of the website may not worth more than all the money I've mentioned. At the very, 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 very most, let's say 5 million naira. The highest you will probably pay for such, which of course in real sense will not be more than 5 million or 1 million or even 500,000 naira, or even 100,000 naira. But what exactly is the tactical? What exactly is the strategic intent of the website? Who decides that? Who sits down to say, in the next 5 years, in the next 3 years, this is what we want this website to be able to do? That person that is making that decision, how much should the person be paid? Before we now say, let us build the website. Do you think just anybody should be called in to do that kind of a thing?
I must say what they said concerning this website. They said they got 50 people to manage the site.
Management of websites, whether 50, whether 100, whether 2 or 3.
Yeah, they are getting. I already 50, they have to be trained. What exactly are they supposed to be doing? We're talking about content, the veracity of content, website management, responses. They have platform where people can send message and all of those stuff like that. And what exactly are they doing subsequently in future towards the website? Are they creating chatbots? Addition to the website? Are they doing a whole lot of other things? Are there many other behind the scene things that we don't know that they're going to be working on for the next maybe 2-3 years or thereabout? These people, for you to maintain their interest, how much are you going to pay them vis-a-vis competitors, what they could actually go to get from other places should they decide to resign? Okay, you have invested some money to train people. It's not the money you have invested to train people that is the real money. It is the cost of retention of those people. Yes, thank you very much.
You have spent 5 million naira to train someone. That person as well could move away from that place and use that intelligence that he has acquired through training from the cost you have invested on him to go to another company to now deploy that expertise. Now, what is the cost of keeping that person?
But then on content management of the website, we're talking about them getting, or they have gotten 50 people to manage the website. 50 people to manage a website. Looking at the website, the updating, we have policies, we have a few things that are on the website. Do you think 50 people are not too much to manage that website?
If I want to judge a matter, I want to know the facts. I like all the facts on the table. I want to be able to know what exactly do they have in their mind. What is the strategic intent of the website? In fact, what is the vision behind the website? All of this will help.
Okay, let me just detail this. The OSGF said there is also the fact that the upgraded websites will enable members of the public request for information from the government, submit an idea to the government, lodge complaints to the government, respond to the government, report issues to the government, and give compliments to the government, amongst others. Something they are calling e-participation. Okay, beautiful. That means that is yes, it's beautiful.
Okay, what's your take to that?
I mean, that is a very big thing. It means that the government is looking at being responsive to its citizens. It's saying that on this platform of a country with not less than 180 million people, and probably the entire Africa, may actually want to call in. So they are talking about, maybe, I don't know, that is, I don't have all the facts, I'm just assuming. I'm playing the devil's advocate this time around. Okay, maybe they are trying to use this platform to redeem the image of the company, the image of the country at large. So what it means is that rather than people going to the public with rumors, unverified information, whether from South Africa or from any other place, people have a platform where they can communicate with people, and there are human beings that will quickly look at those information. Let's assume on a daily basis they have approximately 1 million responses, that is people sending messages. The question is, if they are going to take approximately 1 week to be able to respond to those particular messages, process and respond to that particular message actively to the satisfaction of the person who have sent that message, how many people do you think should be able to manage a daily volume of 1 million messages? Let's even say 100,000 messages. If you say 100,000 messages divided by 50, that will give you approximately 10 divided by this, that will be giving like 2,000 messages per day. Now, if you're talking about, I'm talking about even 100,000 versus 50, that is 2,000 messages per day. 2,000 messages per day. How many messages do you as a person can conveniently process within a space of 10 hours every day? So let's say 1 week, which is maximum of 50 hours. Maximum of 50, okay, in a day, one person, let's say in his best state, we process like 100 messages. That is his most efficient state. Process like 100 messages. In a week, he's expected to process like 500 messages. Then, apart from processing those messages, making sure that those messages get back to the people that actually made inquiry on those messages. Okay. So, your forth and back, the feedback loop of that particular message, one particular, a message per person per week is approximately 500 per person.
So you think that more people will help out? I'm going to tell you what the director of information of the OSGF said. Looking at what Lawrence Ojobo signed, he said the redesigning, the upgrading is to conform with the modern technology. Looking at modern technology right now, is it also on the high side? If you want to do.
If you're talking about technology today, websites, whatever the case may be, is simply saying, don't come to my physical domain. I may not even have any. Talk to me through my internet. Go to my website, engage me as if I am physically there with you. You don't need to see me physically. We don't need to shake hands physically. I may actually be on my bed, still lying down, and at the comfort of my convenience, and I will still be doing my business via the internet without having a physical office. Now, if I can fully satisfy my customer through the internet to the extent that the customer will not know the difference between physically seeing me or not seeing me, what do you think can go into such kind of a website to make that happen? The kind of customer care delivery where the customer will not feel the absence of physically meeting you. Most people, in fact, here in Nigeria, for you to be able to do some business, you want to be sure and see the person and be looking at the person eyeball and be seeing the movement of the eyes. Now, the trust level that need to be built into a website, which is the brand value of the website.
Okay, but
people are needed to make that happen.
On this website, like she said, Vera said, the director, the OSGF, said that they had to upgrade this website with new technologies. What are the new technologies that are this expensive that made this amount skyrocket?
Now, when government people are talking, you have to separate the politics of discourse or engagement with the real technical aspects. That okay, you are building a website, the programming language to be used, and whatever. Those really are not, for me, the problem any longer. Why? Because it's like there are different brands of vehicles in the markets. It's no longer about whether I want to buy a Volkswagen, I want to buy a Toyota, I want to buy an Honda, and all of those stuff like that. It's no longer about those, because there are thousands of programming languages, at least some of the most popular programming languages, about 10 of them or so. JavaScript, HTML, and all these kind of other ones, PHP, and all the others we have. Now, there are so many young Nigerians in their 17th, 18th. I mean, their teens. Many of them are already very, very sound. I mean, very, very grounded in this area. Going abroad to even look for them. I mean, any government of here is saying, I want to go to Israel, I want to go to America. I mean, he's doing this country the service, because today I can almost tell you that we have nothing like that, 1 million or more of fine programmers in Nigeria.
Maybe you need to focus on the viewers so that they hear you and learn more. I'm getting what you're saying.
Okay.
Yes.
We have enough manpower. Not enough as in terms of enough. Even America says that they need, I think, approximately more than 5 million or so additional. They say you can never actually have enough, but we are saying that we are getting more and more young people that are very interested in technology. And it's a very beautiful thing, because the future of everything is technology. There's hardly anything you're going to do in future that will not have one thing or the other to do with technology.
But the new technologies, like the OSGF said, what new technologies? I want to know the new technologies that has been featured on this site, or be it programming languages or the rest, that made these amounts skyrocket to 65. What are those new technologies, if they are?
Sir,
truly they are.
Sir, like I keep saying, if you have it is not the programming language.
Okay, it's what?
It's the people. The programming language is an acquired skill. The languages already exist. It's to have people to now write them, to now use those. It's like there is already sand, to mold a sand into a block, to mold the sand into a brick.
The statement did not use programming language. They said new technologies.
That's just basically modern technologies. But looking at it, why we brought here is just to educate, because some of us will see this money and say, hey, it's expensive. If you go to the social medias and the papers, you see some technology experts saying this is impossible for you to use 65 million. That is definitely impossible. But you are giving us another side to it, why you think this amount is okay for it, if I may get you right. But looking at it, looking at aside that, I also want to know the amount of traffic you can drive. What amount of traffic can someone drive and data you can use in someone, or just to make sure someone also might be watching and want to create his or her website. What amount of traffic, the amount of traffic and the data one can actually use in a site to handle your site?
Okay.
Or the sites can actually handle the data the sites can handle. If I'm to start up a website, what amount of traffic do you think I need? Driving traffic to my site.
Apart from design, apart from the database, the storage base, which of course today is technically in the cloud, practically all ISP service providers today, when they provide the storage space, is essentially that everything you have there is going to eventually be in the cloud, or fundamentally going to be in the cloud. The programming language, for example, let's say our organization using something like what they call WPA today, which is progressive web progressive application, and this kind of things is not the primary cost drivers per se. Okay, let's say your website has a huge traffic, which probably will be needing significant bigger broadband, and depending on the ISP you are using or the cloud platform you are using and the method of charging they are ascribing to you, maybe per second billing or per minute billing and all of those stuff like that. Those are a function. In fact, you call them in costing, we have fixed and variable costs. So also the same thing is applicable to technology. So if there is no traffic, what it means that your variable costs will remain very, very low. If traffic is huge, your variable cost is going to be very, very high. For example, the variable cost of a website like Snapchat, last year they signed a deal with Google where they have to pay, I think, $1 billion per annum for Google to be able to manage their cloud. Now, why are they paying $1 billion per annum, which if you translate to Naira, you are talking about 350 something billion Naira, thereabout. Now, it's about the traffic that you are driving. Now, if a company like Snapchat does not probably have more than 1,000 traffic, of course, they won't be probably mentioning anything like up to $100, for example.
We must wrap up now. We wanted to answer a question.
Okay, yes. Well, the website has been built it's a platform where citizens, masses could go and just lay their complaints, and according to what the USGF said, they would get a response. But then you come into the social media. You come into the social media, we have the EFCC handle. Well, I can tweet at the EFCC or even the federal government or the state government and get an instant reply openly. That is, I've asked this question and openly they reply me. Everyone is seeing what is going on. Now, on this aspect, I am sending a message and I'm getting it's a one-on-one thing, confidential thing. Don't you think there should be more transparency as regards the way it's designed? Like, okay, I could actually go lay my my complaint, and right there, it's in the public, it's been replied.
Now, the matters of government should not be tackled in isolation. It should be handled holistically. When you say government of Nigeria, for example, you don't just isolate the issue of websites, because you have to look at the whole. What is the practice of the Nigerian government? Is it the way we want it? If it's not the way we want it, then we have to start addressing the entirety of it. Then if we choose to actually use a particular website as a point to begin to initiate such an argument as to issue of transparency and how they should be able to do things, we have to now look at, again, we still go back again to the entirety of the practice of government in Nigeria, which is the issue that we need to actually be addressing. Because if we don't address the practice of government in Nigeria, then it is going to be difficult for us to actually change this micro segment of what they do.
So you are saying
because
that
at the end of the day, addressing this thing, you're actually going to be talking about the issue of corruption, which I don't want to be discussing.
Okay.
I don't want to go into that. If you're talking about transparency, you are going to be talking about, okay, even the people that are appointed in the first instance, what is the process on which they were appointed? Like, one of the fastest way, because we are talking about money, the best way to tackle the issue of money is technology. That is, no physical money should pass hand. Anything that has to do with government, not a single kobo should pass my hand to your hand without going through a technological platform.
Yes.
Once it goes through a technological platform, forensic expert, it becomes so easy to trace, to know who, okay, this is 5 million naira. Can I go through a particular set of technological apparatus to determine all the places where this money, how it came and all the places he went to. If I'm unable to determine that, then anything else I'm saying is simply speculative.
Okay, we need to wrap up now, but before you leave, for the benefit of those that really want to start up a website, you need to help us atomize what we need to do. What do they need to do first?
Okay, the first thing is, what do you want to do? What do you want the website to achieve? That is the first thing. Then, who are the target audience you want to be able to reach out? Once you're able to determine that, then the name that will reflect all of this, the name of the website that should reflect all of these things, you have to determine that. Then you look at the content. The money cost of the website is really, for a small starter, you may not even spend more than 100,000 naira at the very most to get a functional website. But then, how many people will this website attract? That is where the money lies.
Okay, I want to thank Martins Egbe, information expert and also an IT expert. Thank you so much for coming on this segment. We'll call you someday to educate us on when we talk about technology, business aspect, how to grow your business through the website. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Well, viewers at home, we'll go on a break, and when we come back, it is sports segment. We'll be right back.
Super Dawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.